So, you may have known that I had an iPhone 13 mini, and it was a good phone, but my hands were getting bigger, and I needed a bigger phone, and a phone with a better battery, and also a phone with better cameras, because they were okay, like they were good enough for the videos, but since I was doing the new setup upgrade, I thought, let's get a better camera to go with it. So I was gonna get the iPhone 14, but then I was thinking, the iPhone 14 Plus isn't that much more expensive. Why don't I just get that? I was looking at it and I did some research on it, and I decided, let's give a little extra and get the iPhone 14 Plus. Should you buy it? This is a video for you. If you feel like you want a new iPhone 14, but you don't want the super expensive iPhone 14 Pro Max, but then you also don't want the normal iPhone 14, you want something in the middle, well, I think this phone is good for you. And here's why. I am Tech and Gadget for you, and let's get into it. So the unboxing experience is pretty normal. You get a cable, an Apple sticker, some instructions, and then the phone. Here's a video of it, and I thought this was super satisfying opening that phone, because that was the first time I'd actually seen the phone color. Like that color. I saw it on the pictures and the boxes, but I hadn't actually seen it in person. And I thought it was going to be all black, because it's called like midnight. But then when I saw it, I was like, wow, that is like blue and black at the same time. It was so cool. And plus, I'd never actually opened a phone like that before. So it was a first in a lifetime opportunity. And I thought it was amazing. And that's why I had to take a video of it. And don't mind that I didn't have my beautiful suit on, but it's because I was too excited to wait. I was just too excited. So I'm going to be splitting into 4 categories. The first one is going to be battery. The second one is going to be cameras. The third one is going to be size. And the fourth one is going to be software. Let's start with battery. So out of all the iPhones that are out there, the one with the longest battery happens to be the iPhone 14 Plus. The iPhone 14 Pro Max has 4,332 milliwatt battery, while the 14 Plus, on the other hand, has 4,335 milliwatt power, which is not that much more, but it's still a good amount. It lasts 26 hours of screen time. That's a huge step up. When I used to have my iPhone 13 mini and record a full video, like a whole one, and finished it, I would lose about 10 or between 10 and 20%. With this one, I lose about only 3. This thing is a beast with battery. Next, we're going to be talking about cameras. So this iPhone 14 Plus has a main camera that is as good as a Pro. Oh my. So that means if you don't have to spend the money on getting an iPhone 14 Pro or Pro Max. All you have to do is buy this, and the camera shots, the pictures itself, will be as good as one of those, which is cool. It may not be exactly the same, like have the exact same HDR or megapixels, or as many features like a 10 times zoom. This one only has like a 5 times zoom, not that much. But it's still really good. Like this camera is much better than the other one. You may have noticed that the 14 Plus doesn't have 3 cameras. It only has 2. But it still takes pictures as good as a Pro. But the Pros have 3 cameras, which is kind of weird. I was looking at the Pro Max pictures and the Plus pictures, and I couldn't really see a difference. It's only when I zoomed in. Then you can see a difference. The Pro Maxes are better at that. The Pluses mainly just by themselves look great. And it's because it has a brand new main camera. It lets in a lot more light. So say you're in darker spots, it lets in the light on those lighter spots and leaves the non-light on the darker spots. So say I'm in a cave, right? But there's an opening at the end of the cave. It'll let the light in from there. Oh my. Okay. And it'll leave the darker spots darker, which helps a lot. Plus, there's a new software, which we'll talk about, but it lets the colors be much more vibrant and make the pictures look more beautiful. Wow. That's just an amazing camera on this phone. And to not spend that much money on a Pro Max and leave it like this, pretty good. So the iPhone 14 Plus's camera is good. But is the video good? Yeah, it is. It can film in 4K and 24 frames per second and 30 frames per second, which will make your videos look like a professional camera, but you don't need to spend that much money on it. You can just buy an iPhone. Sounds like a win to me. Plus, they added a new feature. Plus, get it? iPhone 14 Plus. Plus. It's okay if you don't get it. But they added a new feature called Action Mode, which, if you're running, like you want to record someone running, and you're moving the camera because you're running, it steadies it. So it makes it like, so the video looks like you're not moving it, which is cool. Except the only bad thing about that is it doesn't work in low light. It only works in like bright lights. But there's a feature that you can do it to make it so it'll film in darker spots. But then it won't be as steady, but it'll still be steady, which if you like filming people run for some reason, then that's good for you. You may be wondering, which I don't know if you are, but you may be wondering, can Action Mode film in 4K? Yeah, same thing as the normal camera. It can film in 4K 30 frames per second and 24 frames per second, which for an action mode and making the graphics look a little less, you'll see if you get the phone and check, for 4K is still really good. So there's the normal camera, right? Well, there's also the selfie cameras, which is much smaller, and so you can take a picture like this. But is it good? Well, the selfie cameras on all iPhones or smartphones are not as good as these main cameras because they spend most of their time making these look good. But the selfie camera it's good. Like on this phone, it's good. It's not great. I've seen better selfie camera pictures, like on the Samsung or the Google Pixels. But these are pretty good. Like, they're not bad by all means. Like, they're not bad. But they're not great at the same time. Like, they're a good enough selfie camera. Because you're going to spend most of your time probably doing this. If you're going to be buying a phone that you only want for selfie cameras, then I don't recommend this. Like, there's other cameras that are better as selfie pictures. But if you're not worrying too much on selfie cameras, then I say, yeah, this is fine to get. So for the third category, we're going to be talking about the size of the phone. And out of all the 14s you can get, this is the biggest one you can get. It's huge. Like, it makes the 14 Pro Max look small. Big phone. But the reason for that is because of the graphics. The graphics on this thing are brand new. Like, they are more vibrant and colorful. They help your eyes strain less. I don't know how that works, but I don't care. As long as it doesn't hurt my eyes as much. And the graphics look cool. That's a win for me. I don't know if it's a win for you. You might want a Samsung, who are the kings of graphics. But if you don't want to spend that much money on a Samsung and don't want to switch to a Samsung, then this is the second best option, in my opinion. Like, the graphics are good. So for the fourth and final category, let's talk about its software and chip. And by the way, I'm going to put a counter right here. Count how many times I say chip. Anyway, the 14 Plus has a chip, the A15, which is the second best Apple chip. The first one is the A16, which the Pro and Pro Maxes have, but don't worry about that. This is the second best one. And since I've gotten it, I haven't seen it lag. I've only seen it lag once. And that was for a game, which like pushed it to its limits. Like, it put so many particles on screen that even a computer would probably lag. Like, that was a lot of particles, but it only lagged a little bit, which for an iPhone is good. Plus, the Wi-Fi speed and the loading speed is incredible. Going from the 13 mini, which took forever to load, and the Wi-Fi sometimes didn't work. Like, the 5G just wouldn't work. But then once I got this thing, I'm like, is this how normal phones are supposed to be? Because it loaded incredibly fast. The Wi-Fi speeds, I rarely have no Wi-Fi. Like, I always have Wi-Fi. The 5G blew my mind. Like, that's crazy. And this chip is like incredibly fast. That's what makes everything run quickly. Well, except the Wi-Fi. That's the antennas, which I give credit to too. But the chips, I don't know what to say about it. It's just a great chip. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you liked my outfit. I hated it, but it's just for this video. And I needed to show off the 14 Plus in a nice outfit because it's a great phone, as I said. But if you did enjoy the video, then leave a like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing new videos like this. I hope you don't mind that this one took a while. I was planning for this because I really wanted to show off the 14 Plus. It's a good phone. I didn't want to mess anything up. Hope I did a good job. I am Tech and Gadgets for you. with the new 14 Plus. And we're going to be signing off. Bye.